Our infertility journey, part 5. This next part of our journey is probably the toughest part for me personally. After we had our second child, everything seemed like it was going fine. And then just before his first birthday, my mother was diagnosed with a very aggressive type of leukemia called acute myeloid leukemia. And we decided then, we knew that we wanted to continue to grow our family anyway. And we decided that then would be the best time to start trying. And to our shock, we got pregnant on the very first cycle. The amount of joy that we had was just insurmountable, especially at that time with what my family was going through. When we told my mom that we were pregnant, she was in the hospital and we told her with a card. And at that point, we weren't so sure that she was even going to make it at all through the next week, even. Surprisingly, after my mom got that news, shortly thereafter, she turned the corner. She was released from the hospital. It was determined that she didn't have any more cancer in her body, and she was ready to move on to the next step of her journey with hopefully getting a bone marrow transplant. So I brought my mom to my first ultrasound, which was at about 10 weeks, and we went into that ultrasound, and the lady could not find a heartbeat at first. She asked if there was any chance that I was possibly not as far along as I thought, but I knew exactly how far along I was. I had been taking ovulation tests. I knew exactly when I ovulated. I was able to feel when I ovulated, and I knew that there was no way that I was less than 10 weeks. As she continued to scan, she said those words, "I'm sorry, but your baby has no heartbeat." And at that point, it just felt like I was hit with a ton of bricks. I felt so bad that I had my mom there with me after everything that she was going through. And she felt so bad for me and what I had gone through. And in that moment, the nurse said, "This is your second miscarriage." And I said, "Yes." And my mom found out about the first miscarriage, and she felt even worse that we hadn't told her or anybody. Stay tuned for part 6.